Hi friends, do Universal Heirlooms work out cheaper than regular heirlooms? I'm going to show you the numbers behind it, so you know when a Universal Heirloom might actually be cheaper than a regular heirloom, and also when it isn't worth it. Bear in mind, if you're the kind of person that doesn't like to spend any money on the game, then obviously this isn't really a consideration for you in the first place. If you do like heirlooms though, listen to this video and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let's start by comparing a like for like through the basics. The first part is going to be obvious, but at the same time, there are a few aspects here that might surprise you. You can see I've put together the costs of the two Universal Heirlooms here in this little table. The Buster Sword was slightly cheaper because they gave an extra free pack compared to the Artifact Heirloom, but both aren't far off about $250. Now compare that to this second table where you can see the most expensive, the second most expensive, and the cheapest single heirlooms that we've had so far in Apex Legends. And by the way, I'm just talking about heirlooms here. I'm not considering prestige skins because they're something different and there's no universal prestige skins just yet. Now in case you're confused by this second table, the reason Wraith's original heirloom is there at $439.95 is because there wasn't actually an event where you could get this heirloom. The only guaranteed way was through opening 500 Apex packs or obviously now getting heirloom shards. So many of you won't have actually paid that maximum price, but a few of you will have. Obviously looking between these two tables, technically that means the Buster Sword and the Artifact work out cheaper than Wraith's heirloom, when it was first released at least. But for the most part, if you compare it to the Bloodhound heirloom, which was the most expensive event-based heirloom at $179.97, or the cheapest heirloom, which was Wraith's Recolor at $129.97, that was due to the free packs given by the way, then you'll of course find the Universal Heirlooms work out about $60 to $70 more than the most expensive heirloom, which was Bloodhound's, and about $110 to $120 more than the cheapest heirloom that we've had in Wraith's Heirloom Recolor. Now I went a step further than this and also compared the average heirloom cost across all the events that we've had for all 21 heirlooms, not including Wraith's original, came to about $142.24 on average. So the average heirloom still works out at about $100 cheaper than these Universal Heirlooms. So based on maths, the answer is no, Universal Heirlooms don't work out cheaper than a single heirloom. When you compare these Universal Heirlooms to multiple heirlooms, that's when you start thinking maybe Universal Heirloom's a bit more cost effective. If you think about it, the benefit of having a Universal Heirloom is that you can use it with any legend, plus you do get that custom death box. So actually when you think about the fact that there are 21 heirlooms in the game, not including recolors that didn't drop with events, that means your Universal Heirloom would mean you don't need to buy 21 heirlooms. If you bought those 21 heirlooms, I did the maths, and it would have cost you about $3,309.49. Compare that to one Universal Heirloom at $239.97 or $249.96. That means you could have saved $3,100 by just getting one Universal Heirloom instead of all those 21 heirlooms. So in that sense, potentially a Universal Heirloom could have ended up saving you money. Even if you were to just have bought two heirlooms, depending which ones you bought, again a Universal Heirloom could have still been cheaper. And so that's the scenario where a Universal Heirloom actually does work out better value for money. Having said that, in all honesty, it's not the smartest way to look at it though. Those 21 heirlooms are individual items specifically for those legends. Can you really compare those unique items to one generic item? Also, the other downside to Universal Heirlooms is that they lack a little bit of personality, in the sense that each heirloom is tied to the respective legend in the lore. It feels like it's matched to that legend based on their personality, and they even give it unique animations that fit in with that story. Unfortunately, given the concept of the Universal Heirloom, that means these aspects of the heirlooms don't quite fit in with a Universal Heirloom. Instead, you've got more generic, more basic, and actually fewer heirloom animations than you do get with the specific Legends heirloom. Obviously, the Buster Sword does have a little more provenance, but that's more because it was part of the Final Fantasy crossover. Now, personally, I'm actually still happy I got the Buster Sword. As a fan of the Final Fantasy games, I still think it looks good, it sounds good, and it feels good. The slight issue I personally have with these Universal Heirlooms, and this kind of fits with much of what you guys in the community are saying, and indeed the opposite to this argument, is that when you start getting multiple heirlooms, like we just have with this Artifact heirloom, then it kind of starts defeating the cost effectiveness of one Universal Heirloom across all your legends. So in that sense, maybe again, Universal Heirlooms just don't really work out value for money. Oh yeah, also I forgot to say that a lot of people already have multiple heirlooms, myself included, so saying the Universal Heirlooms has the value of 21 heirlooms doesn't necessarily apply to everyone, because you can't sell your current heirlooms or go back in time. I guess if you don't have an heirloom, or you don't have many heirlooms, and you do want to get another one, maybe that's when the Universal Heirloom becomes a little bit more cost effective for you. Anyways, those are the figures behind the Universal Heirlooms compared to Legend-specific heirlooms. Like I said, let me know your thoughts on Universal Heirlooms in the comments. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll catch you later.